Thank you. We started a couple minutes after 8 o'clock today. I was rushing around. Look, this is, my camera was almost dead. I had to go get, that's an extension cord. So I was frantically going, it's almost dead. So hopefully it doesn't die while we're on here today, but we thought we'd log in and say hello. It's been a while. You haven't seen her in a while.
No, I've been hiding.
Look, am I in your bubble?
So close.
Okay, what is the distance that I can poke my finger towards your head? It doesn't bother you. Is that too close?
I can't see our
live.
lives.
That was too close.
It's not notifying me.
That's your.
And I'm sitting beside you.
Yeah, that was her. That was it. This is too close. So hopefully everybody out there is doing well tonight. Hi, Stacy. Where's everybody writing in from today? Where are you guys logging in from? I'm curious to know which part of the world, what side of the pond.
Dining room at the Archbolds.
Well, that's where we're logging in from.
Okay, fine.
Indiana. Cassie's in Indiana. Sarnia, Ontario. Oh, hey, it's Victoria Pierce. Remember we went to their house and we bought all those prints and everything. Nice to see you guys. Haven't seen the Pierce family on in a while. Miss having you guys out this way. Sarnia. Yeah, I thought you guys moved to Vancouver Island for some reason. I must be out to lunch. Anyway, I'll have to get the update.
What if they were in hiding and you just...
Well, she's the one who said where she was.
Oh, true.
I didn't say it. Anyway. Indiana, New York City, New Orleans, Guelph, Ontario, Humboldt, Saskatchewan, Wetumpka, Alabama. What was the last video? I was in Colorado. I hope you guys liked it. I'll check in on the hockey game a little later on.
Right.
And see it. Probably a lot of if people are into hockey, if somebody comes on, they're like, "Why aren't you watching the hockey game?" Well, you can put me on in the background. Couple reasons. I'm not a huge hockey fan. And also I have no way of watching it. We don't have any kind of channel to watch the game on tonight. It's blacked out in our area on the channels we could watch it on. So
yeah, we just get to see what the score is.
Yeah, so it's the Stanley Cup playoffs and it's game 3 and our team, Edmonton, is in the finals and they are down 2 games. So today is a home game. Probably everybody in the city is watching the game right now. I would say you may not want to watch. Is Edmonton not doing good?
4-1.
Oh.
1 for the Oilers.
Well,
I think that's what it says.
Okay. Colorado. So I got a chance to hang out with Heather and Steve and Dorian and had a great visit out there. It's always nice to go that way. There's actually, every time I go somewhere, there's new things and new places that I really like to enjoy and go do. And when I'm in Colorado, there is BJ's Velvet Freeze, I think is what it's called. And it's like an ice cream place I like to go to. I always seem to have to find a good ice cream place and a good pizza or hamburger joint. So, so far we're doing good there. Mind you, I'll need some recommendations on Colorado Springs for really good restaurants to go to because I got to try something different. Usually it's Who Hot for me when I go out there. Melissa's not been yet.
No, not yet.
Melissa's not been to Colorado yet. That'll be maybe the next time I go there, I'll bring Melissa with me. Problem is that she usually has work or the kids have school and it's hard to leave the kids for any number of days. So I usually like to go down for about a week and that would be tough, I think, for you to get away for that long.
Yeah,
yeah, so if we go together, it would probably just be like a quick 3-day thing, maybe like
a weekend.
Yeah, like a weekend. But that's an expensive weekend. That's like that's a pretty big trip to see for 2 days. That's true. There's pretty good. Oh, next time somebody said, how's the pizza in Edmonton? It's not bad. Michael says, next time you should try Bonnie Bray. If you've got any recommendations, leave it in the comments for sure. And I'll be curious to know which ones you guys agree I should go to in the Colorado Springs or Denver area in terms of restaurants where you're like, you've got to check this place out.
Yeah. You know, it's actually nice when we go to a new place and we're able to get the recommendations from you guys because you've tried it. We don't have to guess if something's going to be good or not. Oh,
Michael says it's an ice cream place. Okay, cool. I was in Arkansas not that long ago, and those videos are going to be coming out a little later for now. And I discovered Wright's Barbecue. Man, that was good. I got to go back to Arkansas for that barbecue. And they're all about the frozen custard in like the Arkansas, Virginia-y kind of areas. And the frozen custard is amazing. I don't know why we don't have, I don't think there's a proper frozen custard place here. But
no, we're getting one, remember? remember. What's it called? The one that everybody has there.
I don't know, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, true. We don't have it yet.
We don't have it yet, but yeah, discovering all the things. And when I went to Tennessee with Heather, Constance says you're so beautiful.
Aw, thanks, Constance.
I agree. When I went to Tennessee, I went to Nashville with my sister. We went to, what's the chicken place? Hattie B's Chicken, super good. And I never had grits before. I thought grits was like pig intestines or something. I didn't know what it was.
What? That's actually what you thought?
No,
Sorry,
what was I
like
confusing it
pig
with?
intestines.
So grits I confused with
Oh.
chitlins, I think is what I did. And anyway, grits ended up just being kind of like mashed potatoes almost. It was super good. And so I got to go back there again.
I see Landy Andy's on. Bill's on.
Yeah, would like to see Red Rocks Park in Colorado. Everybody says Red Rocks. That's like, is it a park or is it like an amphitheater where people, I always see that there's places out there. Oh, Culver's Frozen Custard you got to go to. We'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah. I thought Nitro's diecast and he's from around us. So
Yeah.
I was like, what now?
Went to Savannah last year to get grits, real grits. Yeah, that was chitlins. Yeah, I thought chitlins was grits and grits was chitlins. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's like lunch.
I was up for it. Heather's like, you were willing to eat chitlins? I'm like, I don't know. Everybody else was. Oh, this is an outside theater, Red Rock.
Oh, and Bob is on.
Pirate House in Savannah was a great place. Man, there's got to be all sorts of places I have to go check out and see. I need to find, we were talking about trying to find the best restaurants even in our area.
Yeah, because you kind of get into the routine of going to the same places over and over again. Not you, I mean us as everybody.
Yeah, us. But this weekend, I wanted to try and find the best barbecue joint in Edmonton. So if you're in the Edmonton area and you're on, you can give me some recommendations.
Yeah. I don't know if you can find the best in one day.
Oh no,
you're gonna just have one meal.
We're gonna find what is. So I looked online to see what the ratings were, and there's a few places that are kind of on the list. But I want the experience I had in Arkansas at Wright's Barbecue. I need that here, and I don't know if that exists here. There's got to be a barbecue place. Alberta's land of the beef.
Yeah.
We're like in the Canadian provinces, we're the Arby's province because we've got the beef. Actually, they've got the meat. But Alberta's known for Alberta beef and steaks and stuff. So you think there's got to be some good barbecue joints. So we'll have to check that out. So yeah, the next series of videos that you're going to see coming out are me going to Tulsa. So in a couple days time, I'll be taking a trip, taking you guys with me and exploring Tulsa and going on a big adventure down there. There's a few videos I took down in Tulsa and had fun in Oklahoma. It was just, man, it was a great trip down there. And not far from where I was in Arkansas.
Yeah.
It was like 2 hours away. I should have driven back there and gone to visit the people I know now in Tulsa too. But so hope that you guys are all doing well out there and hope everybody's doing good. What have you been up to? You haven't given them an update on what you've been up to in a while.
Well, you guys, I teach preschool and we're at the very end of the year. So it has been insane in my work. I'm making today grad hats that they can take home. Every year I regret this process. And pottery. Yeah, I was looking to show you, but it's really bad. But I tried.
No, it's not bad. You should get your blue
you
pot
guys.
to show them.
No,
You should get the blue
okay.
bowl. Melissa's learning how to do pottery.
Well, we only have 2 classes left, so I only have really one more day to glaze everything that I made today.
I thought she did a really good job.
Oh, it's special. But I did try, and I have stuff at the end, so.
And somebody said, I bet the little kids are adorable. They are. So when I come home and Melissa's getting ready for their little graduation ceremony that they're doing, it's the tiniest little graduation outfits. Like, what is it? It's not like a cape. Is it a smock?
Yeah.
What do you call
it?
It has a name. Gown.
Yeah.
Graduation gown and cap.
Our colors are green, so.
But they're like,
I have like a little. But I take pictures of them in an actual little gown and cap. But then I let them keep the little paper one that I make. Well, cardboardy kind of paper.
Right, because you got to use them over and over again.
Yeah. But one year I had our actual photographer came to do the pictures. And when he saw that it was a green cap and gown and he had a green screen, you should have seen his face.
Oh, I never even thought about that. You could have had a bunch of floating children
He's
head.
like, oh, what? I think he had like a blue tarp or something. We used that instead, and because it just has to be a solid background, but not, not
That
green.
would have been a better picture, I think. A bunch of floating children's heads.
His poor face, because he got there so early to set up, and I forgot to let him know what color our outfits were. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So we are, let's see. Oh, I see there. People are talking about the Oilers in the chat. I was trying to keep up. I guess they're not doing super great, but that's okay. We're here. We're chatting. So Melissa's been busy getting her class ready to graduate. Our kids are busy doing their final exams, and Jason's in grade 11, but he took a bunch of grade 12 classes this year, so he's got diploma exams and stuff coming up.
And regular finals.
And regular.
Yeah.
He took all core classes in grade 11, so next year he only has, I think, 2 core classes, and the rest is all just like options where he's learning stuff, like fun stuff. His grade 12 is gonna be a much different experience than mine, which was like a mix. But the way they do it now, you can take grade 11 classes at the beginning of grade 11 and grade 12 at the end of grade 11, and that's what he did. So he's gonna be almost nearly done. And yeah, and so he's gonna be just like taking fun stuff in grade 12. I think he'll have a really good experience.
Josh is saying that the game wasn't worth watching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Tulsa videos are coming out, and then we go to Arkansas videos, and then we're doing a little bit more travel and as a family.
Yep.
And we're gonna go explore some antique shops south of the border together and do some antiquing. And I'll have my, this is what I'm excited about. In probably just over a couple weeks time, Melissa and my children are meeting, and my mom are meeting my brother Steve for the first time. So this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're driving across the border. We're gonna go and see my brother for the first time. Well, I've met him, but they haven't. And I don't know. I think it's gonna be, Steve has no concept that he looks like his biological dad or talks like him, or it doesn't really sound like my dad, but he definitely has mannerisms like him. And it's probably gonna be really weird for my mom to see her deceased husband kind of alive and another person again. It's probably be kind of comforting, I guess, to see that there's another person that looks similar. But I can't imagine what that's gonna be like for my mom. So that ought to be something. But Steve wants to go antiquing with me. We're gonna meet up in Montana, and he wants to go hit some antique stores with me. So I'll do a little some videos with my brother Steve, and we'll get those out too.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Okay, so to give you guys an update on the TV show thing, as you guys know, a year ago, actually over a year ago, we were approached by a pretty major production company, and they pitched our show to a major streaming network, and they really, really liked it, and they said they want to pick it up, and they started trying to figure it out. And then I guess that network picked up a really big project with Mr. Beast, and they ran out of all their money, and so they're trying to scramble and figure it out. At the end of the day, what happened was my show was less of a priority to Mr. Beast's show. So they said they still want to make it happen, but our holding agreement, which I signed for a year, which is why you haven't seen a lot of horde clearouts and stuff, because I wasn't allowed to do them for the last year. That's over on the 15th, in 2 days. Yeah. Which means I can go back to doing regular scheduled content on the channel again. So I do visit, I clear out, there's gonna be a hoarded storage unit, there's a hoarded house that we visit and we buy a bunch of stuff from, so there will be some of those episodes coming. I might have a clear out coming up soon, so we'll get back to some of our regular scheduled viewing very shortly here. So I'm actually excited that the holding agreement is ending in a couple days, so I can continue doing it. And I am gearing up for another auction sale in August. There's a bunch of cool stuff, but one of the places I went through had a ton of really cool vintage clothing, and all the neatest 1980s rock concert t-shirts. I'm talking like early 80s Metallica, Alice Cooper, Twisted Sister, you name Guns N' Roses, like some of their first concert. And these are tour shirts from back in the day, and they are really, really neat. I must have found 30 or 40 of them, I think.
Yeah, they were really cool,
so all that stuff's gonna be going through auction with a bunch of other collectibles and coins and stamps and Pyrex and whatever else. So there's all kinds of neat stuff coming up. So I've been very busy this last week just getting ready for this sale.
How did you injure your back?
Oh, James wants to know, how did I injure my back? Well, originally I hurt my back at work when I was really young. I twisted weird while I was lifting something and I hurt it, and I thought I'd walk it off, and I walked it off for 3-4 months and managed to grind part of my lower bone away. So I have sciatica in my back, and occasionally my lower back will, my disc will slip out and hit that nerve. So randomly things will set it off. Most recently, it was working on a car nonstop for hours and hours, probably 12, 14 hours a day of sanding and stripping paint. And that is a future video series I'm working on, so I won't give too much away there. But working on that car is what killed me. So yeah, that was not much fun. I'm still kind of recovering from that. I'm a little better now, but it's still a little touch and go. So, which is good, because now that I can do clear outs and stuff again, I'm going to need my back in tip-top shape so that I can get through all the mass amounts of crazy stuff we're
If you guys have ever had your back go out or hurt, period, you know that as soon as it starts feeling well or better, and you start doing all the things and it hurts again, that's what Alexander does. It'll finally be starting to feel better, and then he goes all in, and then it's all over again.
Oh, Mark's wondering if there's gonna be a video. Yes, there's all sorts of videos on new stuff coming out here, so stay tuned. We have a lot going on. So people, I see the comments, people are saying, oh man, it would be great to see you on a show or something, but we'll see what happens. They still really want to have it go. They wanted me to extend my holding agreement, and I said that it probably wouldn't be in anybody's interest to do it, because then I can't do my regular YouTube stuff, and if they're trying to figure stuff out, I don't want to keep holding off on doing the content that I kind of know.
Well, we'll know in 2 days, right?
Maribeth says she has degenerative back disease, so know how you're feeling. Yeah. So when your sciatic nerve gets pinched, it's like somebody putting a big, like a Bowie knife right in your lower back. Like, it's almost paralyzing. But so I don't want to do surgery. I'm hoping that I'm waiting on an MRI so they can figure out where to put a needle in me, and they want to do cortisone shots. Hopefully that'll help. But there we go. It's surprising to see so many people have the same thing, but I don't want this to turn into old man medical chat. I'm already feeling old enough as it is. Just basically taking it easy right now so I can be all ready to go for all these videos that are coming out. And I have been extremely busy the last little while, pretty much nonstop. I think this past week especially, just gearing up for this next auction sale.
Alexander's always busy. Even if there's nothing to do, he's busy. He doesn't stop. Like, that's when somebody was like, oh, you just film for work. I'm like, no, he works his butt off and films it.
Yeah, it was actually really productive I don't know if you guys on the last live chat, if I mentioned, if you watched that one, I think that I had been building Lego. I bought a bucket of Lego from an estate, and I was going through the Lego, and I noticed that there's a bunch of old space stuff in there from the early 80s. And I thought, well, let's try and put it together. So for 2-3 days, not an entire day, but like from during the evening, like from dinner time to 11 p.m. or something.
Well, that one day that I helped sort with you, we were up until almost 1 a.m.
Yeah, that was a long day. But
that is too late.
I'm proud to say that all that stuff sold, and treated Melissa to a nice dinner, nice lunch the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Not that we kind of think about getting each other back for helping each other out, but she had a challenging day at the preschool, and I figured she needed to go out for a nice dinner.
It wasn't too bad, actually. It was...
Really?
I don't remember what day that was.
Oh, I'm not even going to mention it because it's so gross.
Yeah.
So
okay,
no.
I'm not going to share it, but it wasn't that challenging. If you work with young kids, that's nothing. And I had a glove.
No, that'd be it for me. I volunteered
It wasn't so bad.
I volunteered a couple days this past month at Melissa's school.
But this last one was pretty...
Yeah, it was okay. The last one was all right. I actually got a chance to sit with the kids. The one before, though, they were running around like somebody left the cage open at the monkey in enclosure at the zoo, and they were just running around. Yeah.
No, I'm glad that you got to see the class kind of more how they are and get to know them a little bit rather than just the chaos of that day. That first day that Alexander volunteered was maybe my hardest day in 8 years.
Yeah.
And he witnessed it.
Yeah, it was something, all right. I don't know how she does what she does. I would rather dig through a hoarded house with a hazmat suit on and hurt my back doing it than have to deal with managing a class of
I
children.
get to play with kids and set them up.
I'm glad you like what you do.
It's pretty
I'm
fun.
just saying I don't think I could do what you do. Much respect to her. She's a much better and more patient person than I am. Duncan says, looking for Beatles cards. Well, gosh, I think 2 auctions ago I sold off my collection of Beatles cards. And they didn't go for really hardly anything because they didn't advertise my sale. They just put a bunch of stuff through randomly. Yeah. That's where I was like a little upset because I was gearing up for another, like one of our auctions. And I'm like, okay, when's our date? And they're like, oh, we already sold all your stuff. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it went through with like hardware and stuff. Like, well, Beatles cards aren't going to sell well if you put it through with like tools and things. So they're being more careful now, I hope. Yeah. Oh, Allison says she was a substitute teacher for a bit, and yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it can be for sure. Gosh, so many people that have back issues out there, and I see that they're having the same kind of stuff. Ivy says they went on the carnivore diet, and it actually helped. I don't know. Maybe if I was eating a steak, I could do that. Because I don't know that I could. I guess I would get sick. You'd think if you ate anything, too much of anything is not great. Like if you're left unattended in front of like a bowl of M&Ms and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna destroy this. Like after like maybe a handful, you're like, this is a terrible idea. Is there an M&Ms diet? I know they have the carnivore diet, but is there an M&M's diet? Because I could get on that train.
No, you would get sick of it
No,
fast.
you'd have like your mouth would be all full of sores and your lips would be swollen. You'd probably look like an M&M by the end of it, all round and blue.
When I very first moved out, I made one of those Jell-O pudding packs that are supposed to be a 4-serving, and I was like all to myself. I was so sick. It was insane. I mean, I had to do it once. That was my big rebellious move, I guess, to move out on my own, eat a whole thing of pudding.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It always seems like a good idea until you have too much of a good thing, and then it's terrible. What's the one thing you've eaten too much of that you regret?
Chocolate. Well, anytime I eat.
Oh, I know. Chocolate almonds.
Yeah, but the thing is that like the cheaper chocolate that they put on the outside of the almonds, which is delicious, closes my throat up. But I will eat to that point. It's not that many.
For air.
I don't have like a full-on allergy. I think it's just the sugar in it, because I don't get anything else. I just can't breathe very well.
I think the one thing I have a problem with controlling myself around is fresh garden peas, like in the pod.
Yeah,
when you crack them open.
I have a lot of peas that are coming up right now.
The farmer's market's on. Why have we not been to the farmer's market yet?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
But now you guys know where we're going to be.
Yeah, St. Albert Farmer's Market. We got to do that. But they won't have peas yet.
Who knows? Mine are like, mine are only this big, but somebody got on the ball ahead of time. We've had a really cold spring so far.
But Josh says, in my best Josh voice, dude, peas are the best. That's not my best Josh voice.
No.
What? Dude. Yeah, peas are the best.
Yeah,
but I'll go to the farmer's market and I will just like I just got released from prison after serving my nickel, and I'm just loading that bag full of garden peas, and I have a big sack of them, and I will sit there when I get home and I will destroy that bag until I am really sick. But I feel like that's a healthy thing to get sick on. Probably better than, but maybe like I said, too much of anything.
There's a harness type device used by people who lift a lot that may take the load off of your back.
Yeah, I should probably look at that. I wonder if it would be like, should I start wearing old man suspenders and like I'll have harnesses, some kind of like suspension thing holding my armpits up and stuff as I walk. I don't know.
That's what he pictures. It's probably something easy, like a back brace, and it'll help you.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to look into that. Thank you for your concern. It's not much fun. It's funny because I was waiting for an appointment for a specialist for my back. And I went in and my back was fine. He's like, can you do this? Can you stand on your toes? Can you go on your heels? He's like, well, you seem totally fine. I'm like, yeah, because my back's not out right now. I kid you not, like 3 days after that, my back went out where I was like, oh, and couldn't move. He said, well, it's probably like when you take your car into the shop because it's making a noise and then it doesn't make the noise when you take your car in. That's exactly what happened. Oh, hey, speaking of cars, I'm going to change the topic now because I'm like a distracted squirrel.
Oh my goodness.
After 2 years of my Volkswagen bus being in the shop, I finally got it back last week.
But wait, where is it right now?
Back at the shop.
Ugh. I thought he was joking, you guys.
So
Thought he was joking.
here's the deal with it. If this, you got to go way back in time in my videos. A couple of years back now, I bought a Volkswagen bus. It was, the interior was all trashed. I redid the interior in it, not the green one, but it was a yellow one. So the interior was trashed, and I redid the whole interior, and it looked really good. And I took it in to a shop. They had a good used motor. Ended up not being so good. It blew after, I want to say I drove it 3 times and the engine blew on the highway. Actually,
Wasn't it within the same week?
is Bob the bottle man still on right now? Okay, so Bob, are you still on? So I went to Bob's house and bought some of like Bob's childhood toys and things from his parents' place. And on the way back from Bob's place, the engine blew on my bus. I don't know if I ever told Bob that. Yeah, so Bob, on the way back from your parents' place with a van load of, I don't know, Fisher Price and whatever else I bought for you guys that day, my engine blew. And it's been in the shop for the last 2 years, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
I got it back. It was driving great. I was all happy. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I parked it and I noticed it had a big oil leak underneath it. So I took it back in because it's leaking oil. And I know that old Volkswagens and old Porsches do tend to leak oil just based on the way that they're put together, but they shouldn't leak that much oil that it's leaking on the exhaust and creating like a smoke plume. It's not burning oil, it's actually spilling out onto the exhaust. So anyway, I took it back in there today. Oh yeah, that was my adventure this morning. So this morning, I dropped the Volkswagen back off at the shop where I had just picked it up from last week or whatever it was. And I thought, I'm gonna walk home, which is probably, I don't know.
This is the decisions he makes when his back is feeling better.
I wanna say 15 miles from the shop to my house.
I bet it's longer than that.
It's probably longer than that. It was a really long, it was kind of a ridiculous, it'd be like walking from one town to the next almost. It's pretty far. But I thought, I'm up for this. My back was sore this morning, and I the back specialist I went to, he said, you know, swimming or walking can help you with your back. So I thought, well, my back really hurts, so maybe if I walk it off again, it'll be okay. This is like the old, like maybe that's the baseball player in me. When you get like beamed in the head, you're just like, walk it off, and then you do. So I took this, like Homer from the Iliad, I took on to myself a journey walking down paved sidewalks. Nothing like the Iliad, I guess. But anyway, no beasts or dragons or things. I didn't have to conquer any cyclops or any weird stuff. But I made it fairly far until I noticed my foot was bleeding from walking so much. And then I bailed out at what we have a Tim Hortons. And and I sat down and I had something to eat. I called myself an Uber and I got home. It was probably more than 24 kilometers. It was probably 15 to 20 miles, something like that. I know it was a lot of steps. I got a lot of steps
15
in.
miles is 24 kilometers.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I put in 14 or 15,000 steps. It would be the similar distance from when we walked from the Statue of Liberty to Central Park in New York.
We walked when it was like over 20,000 steps.
Yeah, that was a big walk.
My knees still hurt after that. That they are not the same. I was not made for walking.
You know what it was? It was the Statue of Liberty itself going up.
I think it was that really long walk and then all the stairs, but it was like nonstop. So now I'm broken-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you've not been to Canada, Tim Hortons are, I would say now, they're more common than McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like you used to see McDonald's and Starbucks everywhere, but now, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Heather got it.
Heather got it. Thanks, Heather.
Good job, Heather.
It used to be that you'd see like McDonald's and stuff. Here, the most common fast food places I think you see are Tim Hortons. I would say A&W and maybe McDonald's. But I would say there's less McDonald's than there used to be. There's A&Ws are pretty common. Wendy's we have, Arby's.
But we don't eat at McDonald's, so maybe we just don't know.
No, but Arby's and Wendy's aren't that common. I would say like A&W and Tim Hortons are the most common ones you see. And when you go to the United States, like our Dairy Queens are proper sit-down restaurants here, and I think they're mixed with like Orange Julius or something. They're mixed with something. It's like that, or I don't know, a KFC maybe or something, where it's like a duo kind of thing. Here, our Dairy Queen is like a proper sit-down restaurant for fast food, and the A&W, you actually get like proper plates and cutlery and stuff when you go and sit down, like an actual restaurant. So yeah, that's.
Heather said KFC.
Oh, she said okay, yeah. So they're mixed with KFC. A&W fries are good. I agree.
You know which fries stepped up their game? Dairy Queen. We had Dairy Queen not long ago.
I don't know. I'm not a fan
No,
of Dairy Queen.
I don't. I
fries.
mean, they're just like regular old fries, but they season them differently.
We don't have Pete's Coffee. No. I only go to Tim Hortons. Josh says, dude. He didn't say dude, but I know he thought it. Tim Hortons sucks now. I like how Josh never has a soft opinion about anything. That's awesome, or that sucks. I do like the, okay, if I go to Tim Hortons, what do you think I'm going to Tim Hortons for when I go there?
The chili bowl.
No.
That's what you used to.
I go there for what drink? It's a
Hot
drink.
chocolate.
Nope.
What? Oh, London Fog.
Yes.
I'd get there.
I go to Tim Hortons for London Fog. I go to Starbucks or A&W for a chai latte. It's not the world's best chai latte, but in a pinch it'll do. We found there's a little bakery down the way from us called Molina. It's a Ukrainian bakery. It's here in Edmonton. And we go there and they have really good chai lattes. So if you're ever in Edmonton, it's worth checking out.
They also have good lavender lattes.
Which I haven't tried yet.
It's good.
I like what I
no,
like.
You won't like it because you don't like coffee.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't like coffee. No, I've had it. London Fog is...
Steamed milk.
It's, steamed milk, Earl Grey.
You can either use Earl Grey or English breakfast.
And then they kind of froth it up so the top of it's all frothy.
It's like a vanilla latte with
the tea bag.
Yeah, with tea steeped in it.
Instead of coffee. There's no coffee in it.
Yeah, there's no coffee.
I don't know, it's super good. And they sweeten it with, I think, vanilla sweetener. Anyway, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It is good.
Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, it's weird to me that they don't have A&Ws, that they're not as common or they're not the same thing. So to describe an A&W restaurant here, which I don't know, stands for something, probably two people's names. Andrew and Wallace.
It does have.
I know it means something. I don't know. I can't remember offhand with me. Somebody's gonna look it up and they'll be like, yes, that's Amos and Whiskers. It's like a cat and an old guy.
Amos and Whiskers.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He used to sit on his porch and he'd have his cat and they'd just fry up burgers on the side of the road. Anyway, A&W's here, they look like an old-fashioned restaurant kind of. And they have, like, you can get the glass mug and they keep it in a freezer, and when they put your root beer in it, it gets all like kind of icy and frothy. And yeah, if you get your order to stay, they'll put your meal on a plate, like at breakfast time and stuff. You can get breakfast there too. That's the other thing. They don't have that in the United States, A&W's.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you can get
That's my favorite thing to get from fast food places is breakfast, because it's usually the safest, least greasy thing there.
No, but the breakfast at A&W is like it's actual eggs and actual bacon and actual toast. Like it's real stuff.
You get a real breakfast on a plate.
But it's kind of weird because instead of putting like a slice of orange on your breakfast plate, they give you 2 slices of tomato. Now I'm like, it always seems kind of weird, and then you're like, well, I guess there's a chunk of tomato, may as well eat that.
It's fruit.
Yeah, it's kind of like parsley. Like you're not supposed to really eat it, but you can.
I would
Allen
eat it.
and Wright. Yes, Allen and Wright. Thank you. There we go. So I guess the A&W franchise up here is different than the one in the United States. They're kind of like, they had the same roots, and then Canada went its own direction.
It's just like anything. They're going to cater to who they're feeding.
Yeah, but that's A&Ws are the reason why I like them. One of the reasons is that they're proud supporters of car shows, and they do they sponsor car shows, and every Saturday here in summertime, hundreds of people meet up, and I've done a couple live streams or I've done a couple videos at the car show here, and guys just hang out. You know, you grab a burger, you go and sit by your car on a lawn chair and talk to people about it and stuff, and it's just kind of a nice vibe. And if you sign up for their discount card, they'll even give you half price off your food if you bring an old car. So if you're part of one of the car clubs or something, yeah, you get half price off your burgers. So yeah, they're pretty nice. Oh, maybe you can request orange slices over tomato. I don't know.
What if they have oranges?
I don't even know if they have oranges. They might be like orange, like they might not know what it is. Like, you know, like the color of your sign. But parsley is good for your brain. Oh, breath. I thought that, listen, it's not that I read it wrong, it's the comment went by really fast. That's what it was. Apparently I need more parsley
Yeah, I was gonna say
for both.
that is a good tip. We'll
I-
make sure to get some in them.
I need it for my brain and my breath. Never been to a Long John Silver's. Melissa's not into seafood, so I don't go to a lot of seafood places.
Is that a seafood place?
You would think with that name. I've never been, but Long John Silver's.
I'm just
Yarr!
not a fan. It's like, why?
It's one of many pirate themed restaurants, I'm sure. It's a fishy place, right? Somebody tell me. I've never been to a Long John Silver's. What's there? I imagine there's fish. Or yeah. We still have, do you guys still have Red Lobster there? We still have it here. I heard they're going out of business.
They are going out. I think they're like
No, it's there. I saw they had a now hiring sign up. That would be pretty
that's
bad.
bad advertising because they just officially declared like bankruptcy.
Oh, it's not fancy seafood at Long John's. Yeah, it's the scrapings of the barnacles off the bottom of the ship at Long John's.
It's a pile of grease with a side of fish.
Oh. Come to our buffet. We've strained all the bacon fat into a bowl, into a bucket.
Than seafood.
Okay. Nasty deep fried fish. Okay. Well, I've never been to a Long John Silver's, and you guys aren't really selling me on it. Yeah, there's Mexican food in Canada. Like your usual fast food places that we don't really go
not
to a
just
whole
that.
lot.
They have
No, I know, but they have actual nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Mexican food's pretty popular here. On
like
Cinco de Mayo, we went. We had a friend that used to own a Mexican restaurant in town, and we went there, and they had like DJs playing, but they were right next to our table, and they had it at like full nightclub volume. So you're like eating a meal in the daytime, and they've got like, and you're like, "How's your food?" You can't hear anything.
Well, the place we went to yesterday, was that yesterday for lunch that we went? They opened up the patio and it was so loud in there. I mean, it was a really nice atmosphere, but it was so loud.
That wasn't even that loud. It
was loud.
There were so many people talking in there.
Yeah.
It sounded like when you're in a swimming pool.
Yeah,
and you can hear all the voices.
Swimming pool.
There wasn't much splashing though. That would have been awkward. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, I'd say one of our favorite restaurants to go to is probably Cactus Club in town. Oh, wait. Josh says, dude, I built a Mexican place in St. Albert. You should come sometime. What's the name of it? Did you do the interior for them? I need to know all the things. Oh, Allison says it's Drinko de Mayo. Yeah, we didn't do enough of that, I think. Our anniversary is on Cinco de Mayo, so a lot of times we only did one Mexican Cinco de Mayo themed anniversary. It was fun. We should go do that again.
Okay.
Except our anniversary already passed.
Yeah, we could just do it now.
What's to stop us from having a party every day of the week?
See?
Yeah, that's true.
Being with me is like having a party every day of the week.
Oh, Josh says it's called Cerdo. He did the interior. Okay.
Wait, where is
Ella Goggies is a great Mexican fast food restaurant in Maine. Well, if I'm out in Maine, I'll have to check that out. I never know where I'm going to be.
There's a place on the south end, like where I went with Dana and Elaine and Malachi.
Oh,
it was
that
right
so
by.
common?
There's a Mexican place that Dana said that she goes to that's really good.
Oh, well, I've never been.
No, me either, but I trust her choices of food.
I am looking forward to trying. Oh yeah, I know. Kelly says Tim Hortons isn't Canadian owned any longer. Yeah, no, it's owned by Burger King and has been for a number of years now.
Yeah.
It's hard not to, like, when I go into restaurants or I go into businesses. I was like a regional manager or district manager for chains of stores for a while. And so when I go in, I kind of go into a lot of places with that in mind. And so I'm always thinking of like, oh, these tables need to be wiped or that floor needs to be done. Like, point out all the stuff they probably don't want to point out. I don't point it out, but it's in my brain. And I always notice if there's missing, like if there's burnt out light bulbs and things. It's just, that's where your brain goes when you've been in that position for work and your job is to try and make the businesses look their best, that they present their best, that everything's, front face and looking great and the staff are friendly and stuff. You have an extra filter when you go into any business. The problem is I think I apply that to our children. So like when I walk in the room, I'm like, needs to be swept in here. You got to change this. It's got to be, and I'm like, right, these are my kids. I got to ease up on them a little bit because I still feel like I'm managing a business of some kind.
I'm sure they love that.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't.
I can imagine exactly their face.
But look, step one is me being aware, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't
That's
moved
a
on to
step.
step 2 yet. It'll happen eventually. It's the corporate eye, Britt says. I know. Britt, did you work in the business as well? Did you do that for a living? Because I know once you've been in it for a while. But you know what I found is that I kind of have trained my children to think about things from a business perspective. So Steven he moved on from the job he was at, and he's working at a clothing store now, and they're really nice to him there. But if it's slow, like they had a really slow day the other day, and they had like 3 staff on or something, he's like, if we're all getting paid X amount of dollars per hour and we work this many hours and we only sold this much, they didn't make enough money to cover rent today. Like, this is a problem. And he's like, guys, we got to like really try and sell. Like, he's very...
he doesn't go in just thinking I'm going to do my job and leave. I think it's also because we have a business. So he sees it more of like, he knows the background that's actually going on rather than just going in and doing his job. He sees it as what that company needs to do to succeed.
And I'm proud of him. I said, well, what do you do when it's quiet? Because when it's quiet in a store, that's when you kind of get to know what the staff are up to and how things are going. He said he will vacuum, he'll sweep, he'll wipe things down, he'll refold the clothes, make sure that everything looks good. And he's like, because it's better if I look like I'm busy in the store rather than just sitting there on my phone or something. Maybe somebody will see that I'm busy and they'll come in and want to talk or try something on. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that the kids are going into the workspace with the retail mindset. Jason kind of wants to get a job already, but we want him to kind of be a little bit older and focus on school right now. We waited until, the thing was the kids can get a job, but we wanted them to have school as the #1 priority.
Yeah.
But the reason why Jason wants a job is that he wants to get a job at the Lego store, get discounts on. You get like half price, I think.
Only like once a year.
Oh, once a year, but still once a year you could really go crazy and buy some giant set. Half price off of Lego, that'd be great.
Do we still have sand stores?
No,
like Zellers, we opened like mini Zellers within the Bay.
Oh, they're talking about extinct stores that are restarting?
But I think Sam's is gone, right?
I think so, yeah. Days go by faster when you're busy. Absolutely, JJ says.
How tall is Jason?
6'4".
Or close
he's
to
a big kid. He's a big kid. But yeah, I think he'd really like that job, and I hope that he gets an opportunity to apply or work there. That would be totally his environment. That is one kid, he definitely gets that from his dad, where we both still, I don't think it goes away when you're older. Most Lego kits, I think, are meant for adults now.
Yeah, but tell him what he did with the Lego kit. Did you see what he did?
What, Jason?
Yeah.
Well, Jason lately has been challenging himself to try and build the Lego kit while it's still in the bag.
It's like the little people, like he had the Star Wars, I don't know, what's the guy with the little goggles? It's like Darth Vader when he's a kid. And he had to open the little bag inside the bag, and then he built the whole thing inside.
Well, they come in the little sealed cellophane bags, and each person was in its own bag, and so he built it while it was still sealed in the plastic.
He never opened the plastic.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I can't even imagine how hard that was.
But he loves doing that. He loves puzzles and stuff. And yes, he is good at basketball.
Yeah.
Bob asked if he's good at basketball. Yeah, he's 6'4". I would say that Abigail has some serious basketball skills, though.
She pitched the ball. She pitched the ball with one arm, and it just went right through. I was so shocked. I don't know why.
Jason definitely has the height advantage, but Abigail is like all net. When she's shooting for the hoop, she can stand from anywhere in the yard, and she will get just a swoosh every time. I was trying to encourage her to maybe go out for the girls' basketball team once she gets in high school, but she's like, meh. I don't know. I think that she's really good. So I don't know. She's getting tall too. 5'7", just about.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, or might be.
I think she's a tiny smidgen under me, and I'm 5'7".
We'll have to measure her after this. Kelly says, my son's 6'6" and hated basketball. Yeah, I think Jason likes it. I mean,
he's good at it.
Oh, Beverly says, can you ever do a video on how people can purchase at auctions, how auctions work? Do I pre-register it? I'm interested. I've never bought anything at auction before. The auction site is actually really easy. I'll just do this real quick. When you go to kauctions.ca, you can register there. So all they need is like your name, your address, your credit card info on file, and then whether you want your stuff shipped or whether you want it picked up. And then when you bid on, you can go to any auction that they have online. You just log in, and it says you log in with your password you've created, and you're basically already ready to bid. So every time you go in, you verify that it's the same credit card and what your preferences are, and then there we go. Rick says, weren't you a semi-pro baseball player? No. I was on the for the youth league I was in, which was like 18 and under, I was on the all-star team for a bit, and I did do training with the AAA team over one summer, which was the Edmonton Trappers when they were the home team for the California Angels, but I never pursued it. I was a pitcher. And yeah, I enjoyed baseball. I spent, however old I was, probably 5 to 18 playing baseball. So it was a long time playing ball. You kind of never get that, like, your pitching stance and stuff. I used to watch, I had a Whitey Ford VHS, who was an old time pitcher, and they taught you how to do the rocker motion on the mound and the different stances and stuff. So my pitching style is probably the same as a guy who played in the 1940s, which shouldn't be some surprise because I'm basically like a 1940s puppet at best anyway. I'm like the howdy doody of YouTube. But yeah. Janet says, how fast could you pitch? The fastest I got when I was pitching, I clocked in at my best pitch was 88 miles an hour. That's pretty quick. I mean, I never topped the 100-mile-an-hour pitch, but 88 is almost professional. That's getting pretty good. I don't think I'd be anywhere near that now because I'm way out of practice. But yeah, for the rest of my life, you have that feeling of knowing you had the potential to do something like throw a ball really hard, or hit a home run or something, and it just kind of, every time you hold a bat, you're like, I know I've done things with this before. I've hit a ball really, really far with this, and then your body is like, nah, you pretty much forgot. Oh, Mr. Furley says the Oilers lost. Well, that's sad.
Just now?
Already?
It said 5 minutes still.
Oh, well, they
unless they just scored again. They made it to 4-3.
Oh, well, darn, and that was a home game too. Still 3 minutes, they said.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can. Oh, it
says 4:48.
4:48 left. I hope that they.
It's 4-3. They picked it up. They were really losing. They could tie it, and then.
You'd think that if you're playing in your hometown, you
would
have the hometown
advantage. That's gonna be a crazy game. If they won that game and they have like.
A minute.
That's
5
gonna
minutes
be
left.
an intense. If they tie it now.
Stranger things have happened.
It's going to be an intense, insane.
But see, this is why I don't watch sports usually, because I prefer playing them. Like I don't get into watching sports. My brother-in-law Dorian will watch. Not only will he watch football, he loves football. But one time we were watching a game and I was like, oh, I didn't know the Steelers are playing today. He's because that's his team, the Steelers. And he's like, oh no, this is like a game from 1997 or something. I was like, but it already happened. Why would you watch it? It already happened. But maybe it's just comforting to have them on the background. I'll have to ask him next time I'm there. But he's all about the sports. And my older brother that I grew up with was the same way, always had sports on, hockey, baseball, everything. So
we were talking about it earlier that even though we don't follow sports really at all, and even I'm rooting for them, and we don't watch it at all, but it feels like everyone's rooting for them this time. I mean, other than the people in Florida.
Yeah, that's true. Heather says, I'm with you. That's nonsense. Well, okay. Purple Cross says, go Steelers. I'm in Pittsburgh. Yeah, my brother-in-law Dorian is a huge Steelers fan. And every time I go stay there, I get to stay in the Steelers bedroom, which is just all black and yellow Steelers stuff everywhere. So I'm getting to learn a little bit more about it. And I should be more of a sports fan, considering I played baseball almost my young adult life. And I worked for a CFL team for a couple of years. Or I guess it was one season I was with them. I traveled around with them. You'd think I'd be more in touch with football and stuff. But for me, it was just my job. It was just work. It was fun, though.
I'm so thankful, Alexander. My brothers and my dad were really into sports, so I'm just so thankful that that's not constantly on or happening in the house.
But then you have me out working on cars in the driveway or garage all the time, though. So there's that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's way worse. No.
Stinks up the house, though.
You're outside, you said.
Yeah, true.
That doesn't stink up the house.
But yeah, so for us, it's just been busy. Melissa's gearing up for the end of the year. The kids are gearing up for the end of the year. We're going to Montana. Going to see my brother. My mom's going to meet Steve for the first time. Melissa's going to meet Steve. The kids are going to meet Steve. Everybody's going to meet Steve.
We're going to be there for, are we saying when we're going?
No. But we're gonna be down there, and it should be exciting. I'm gonna go do some videos, and there will be some car updates going on. So Nitrous Diecast, our friend Dave, says we need some car updates. Don't worry, there's a couple car videos coming. I'd like to mix it up with the channel. This is what I like to do on the channel. It's pretty much whatever I'm doing in my normal life because I like old cars. I like to buy antiques. I like to do clear outs. I like to travel, and so all that kind of stuff feeds into the channel. So you guys are just living my life vicariously through the internet. I just take you along, and sometimes I'm doing stuff that you think is cool, but sometimes I'm dragging people along who are like, no, we're gonna go look at an old car today. That's probably how Melissa would feel too. She'd be like, what, another car thing?
You know, he was like, we're gonna go and do the antique things. And I was like, I'm gonna hang out with Heather.
Yeah, that's fine. She already said that. She said that
Did
when
she?
we're down there that she wants to go do girly stuff with you and my mom and Abigail, and the boys can go do boring antique stuff. In her,
I don't mind
words, not
antiques
mine.
and stuff. I like them.
You
It's
like the
just-
clear outs.
Yeah, I like the clear outs.
Like when I come home and I've got just bins of stuff and I have no idea what's in them.
But I really like sorting. So, sorry, I got bitten by so many mosquitoes. Apparently, I'm so delicious.
Elaine says Steve seems like a sweet soul. Steve
Yeah.
is a sweet soul. He's a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy. He's a Red Seal plumber, I want to say. And he's single.
Do you think he's on right now?
I don't know. I need to get... He's like... he's kind of a workaholic. He works quite a bit, so probably doesn't give him much of a chance to meet up with people. But I think he'd like to get married and settle down and do all that good stuff at some point. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna find him somebody.
You're gonna personally, you're gonna find him someone?
Oh, I will direct. Well, no, I'm not gonna go and solicit him out on a. Hey, ladies, look what I got right here.
You just did that.
Well, but I mean, not on a street corner. Stand there and don't look awkward. No. Red Seal. I think that's what it is. When you like reach the highest level of being a tradesperson, I think that's when you get your Red Seal or your ticket for that. I don't know a whole lot about it, but you know, do a dating show with your brother. What do I get to like? I interview the people, and then do they have to sit on like a side of like the dating game where they're like, this guy? No, because they'll know who he is. But no, I enjoy spending time with them. And Steve does look so much like my dad. I'm glad you guys see that too, because when I look at Steve, I go, holy cow, he definitely seems family familiar for sure. You know, as complicated as the whole ancestry thing has been, it's ultimately been good because I've got to meet, who like to think that there was people I was that closely related to that I would never have known existed out there. It's nice to be put in contact with them and to get to know them.
At the end of the day, it just brought out truth. So
yeah, challenging.
And we were very lucky that we ended up with Heather and Steve and all the family that came with them.
Heather says, could you imagine the answer Steve would give on the dating game show? I don't know.
I feel like we should ask him.
Yeah, he's very smiley. He's pretty much just like laughing, smiley all the time. And he likes to go to concerts. Let me see. He's a hard worker. He's got a full-time job, ladies. He has his own house. He likes to collect antiques and stuff. So if you like to do that kind of stuff too, look at all the good qualities that Steve has. Anyway, so brother, yeah, journeyman plumber. Yeah, I'll have to ask him what his what his official title is, but I know he's up there in the in the category for plumbing.
Is he a quiet guy?
Yeah, he's kind of quiet. He's kind of quiet.
I feel like he's probably to himself.
But it's funny because
quiet.
when I told him before, I'm like, are you okay to go to another antique store? And we did that last video together. He's like, I could do this all day. I'm like, I could do this all day too. I felt like I should have high-fived him. But he and I love to go to the Denver Mile High Flea Market together because they get a lot of good stuff at that sale. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Anyway, enough of me trying to peddle Steve off on unwitting person watching at home. As for me, I think we're gonna call it a night. Steven's gonna be home from work pretty soon, and we'll keep on plugging away. Somebody wants to see what necklace you have on.
It's just this. It has two little rings. I'm probably cross-eyed as I'm showing it.
Is that from your brands that you were working with?
No, it's from my dad. So
Oh.
I wear it all the time because it reminds me of me and him and that we're linked together.
Oh.
That's why I wear it all the time.
Well, now I know too. I guess I never inquired.
Sarah actually my sister has one from my dad too.
Was it the same year at Christmas you guys got the same thing?
I don't know where we got it. I know we got it from dad, but I've had it for a really long time now.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for today's live chat. Always nice to connect with you guys. I'm sorry if some of you missed the hockey game tonight because it was a Stanley Cup game. It sounds like if you're an Oilers fan, you didn't miss too much.
I bet it was exciting regardless.
I bet the last
good.
period was probably exciting.
Yeah.
But guys, have a wonderful evening. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon. The next series of videos you'll see, I'm in Tulsa. So you'll get to see what I thought of Tulsa. And it was wonderful going out there. You guys get to come along the journey with me. So have a wonderful day, guys. We'll see y'all soon. And as always, bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.